This lesson is about how you do an initial survey of people in your network so you can, from there, determine who are going to be your high priority people, your medium priority people, and your low priority people. So the core thing you want to do is to go from all the people you know, most people know about 150, 200 people, and get down to a manageable number of a few dozen, a couple dozen, etc. And people you're willing to contact by phone, text, or in person or whatever, and you want to ask a couple of questions. You basically want to ask, how likely are you to vote? And how likely are you to vote for your candidate? What you want to do is to push them gently, nudge them past likely to unlikely, to give a number from 0 to 100. 0 means I'm not doing that. I'm not voting, or I'm not voting for Harris. To 100, I'm definitely voting, or I'm definitely voting for Harris. And 50 is either way. And the point is to separate out those questions, even if they're unlikely to vote. If you were to vote, who would you vote for? You want to ask that question. And you want to get numbers on those things from them. Now, if they ask why you're asking, you might say something like this. I've noticed that Americans seem highly reluctant to talk about anything political these days. I think it's unfortunate. I even get nervous talking about it, and I'm trying to become less nervous and be part of a movement so we can talk about these things more comfortably. So I'm gonna dip my toe in the water and ask you these questions, and then we can move on to something else. You don't necessarily want to have a political conversation on this day. You're trying to reinforce your relationship. But you also might find out things. You might find out they really don't like political conversations. You might find out they really miss the days when people talk about politics. So if you have a notebook that you're using to jot all these things down, one page for every person, you might take notes about that. So the point is to not express your political views, but don't be weird and withholding. But if you express any views, put it in the context of, there are thoughtful people who vote and thoughtful people who don't vote. You know that there are thoughtful people who voting for Harris, and there are some thoughtful people voting for Trump. You're trying to signal your openness, your recognition that a variety of ways of seeing these issues, so that if you later on go back to them, they know you are open. Your main goal is to have the conversation go smoothly and get their numbers and take any additional notes that might help you later. So your homework at this stage is start writing down a list of all the people you know and to start contacting them by whatever way you're going to do so in order to ask these questions. Let's get to work. If you like the content of this video, please press like or subscribe, because that helps the algorithm push it out to more people who might want to see it. Anything you do in support, whether it's a like or a subscribe or a share or even a small financial contribution to this self-funded project, is helpful in making sure we can continue this important work of spreading compassion for the sake of democracy.